how to analyze a character. First, you're going to learn how to analyze for direct characterization and indirect characterization. Now, this is a skill that we have already learned, but we're going to go back and review. Okay? Now, raise your hand after I give the entire phrase. Raise your hand if you have ever gone outside and a friend of yours has not been very nice to you, and you go up to them and you directly tell them what's bothering you and what's wrong with them that day. Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. Okay. Now, put your hands down. That's kind of like direct characterization. You have directly told them what's bothering you and why they need to get it together. Now, raise your hand if you have ever been outside playing with a friend and they're a really close friend to you, so you don't necessarily want to go up to them and be downright mean to them, but instead, through your actions, you maybe give them the cold shoulder. Through your actions, or you just don't flat out play with them when they come around, you bolt the other way. You kind of beat around the bush a little bit, and you don't directly tell them that you're mad at them, but instead, through your actions, you show them that you are mad at them. Raise your hand if that has ever happened to you. That's exactly what indirect characterization is about. Now, direct characterization is when the writer makes it easy for us. They tell us exactly what the character is like. Indirect characterization is exactly what we talked about on the playground. You give them the cold shoulder. Through your actions and how you react to that person indirectly is how we figure out what their character is like. Okay? And I've got this little guy with the magnifying glass there. It's saying, just tell me already. That's what your friend is probably wanting you to do when you're giving them the cold shoulder. Okay? Now take a look at these two examples that I have here. One is direct and one is indirect. First example, Peter was very lazy, would never shift himself more than was absolutely necessary. Does it tell us flat out that Peter is lazy?
Yes.
That is an example of direct characterization. Okay? Now take a look here. Peter was bored with the TV program, but the remote control was inexplicably across the room, so he just watched it anyway. Now, did it tell us flat out he was lazy?
No.
What told us he was lazy? How do we know that he's lazy?
Actions.
His actions. Connor, what exactly are his actions here that tell us that?
He took the TV remote and inexplicably across the room, so he just watched it anyway.
Even though that remote was probably maybe 5 steps away, TV room can't be that humongous. He just watched whatever anyway. Now, take a look at Jan. She's the other character in this example. She's going to show us that Peter is also lazy through her actions. Jan would be in soon, and she could fetch the remote control for him then. So Peter is going to rely on Jan, the other character, her actions, what he knows about her, to get the remote control for him. So the writer here made us think about it a second. That's indirect characterization. Now, take a look up here. I have a list of character traits here. Let's talk about Bud for a second in our story. Okay? Could we say that Bud is independent?
Yes.
Now, did the author come out and say Bud is an independent little boy?
No, you gotta use
No.
context clues.
What has the writer done to tell us that he is indeed an independent 10-year-old little boy? Thomas.
He give you context clues.
Like what? What has he told us?
Like when that one 12-year-old kid was fighting him, like no one was on his side. He was new to.
And he was all by his lonesome, wasn't he? Yeah. Think about his situation. Brianna, what are you going to say?
Because he doesn't act for nothing.
He does what he's supposed to do. He doesn't ask for anything ever. Caleb?
I got a question.
Let's talk about how he's independent.
Like, independent means all by your lonesome, right?
When you're an independent person, you can do things for yourself. Okay, good question.
He
Brendan.
keeps like just about everything inside. He doesn't really let it out.
Okay, good. Think about his situation. Mom, what's happened to her?
She
Died. Dad, does he have a dad that's necessarily in the picture?
No.
So is he
He's
parentless?
He's
Is he an orphan?
Yes.
Does that make him independent?
Yes.
Definitely, definitely. Could you say that he is brave?
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you can tell me why he's brave. up to that other
12-year-old kid.
Yeah, my
12-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's much older than him, well, a couple years older than him, so he had to be brave to stand up to him. Brandon.
He's got to be brave right now because in the book he's in that shed and he's sleeping all alone in the
He's
dark.
in the shed, he's all alone. Do you have to be brave to be out in a shed all by yourself when it's completely dark? Yes.
There's no windows. There's no
Definitely.
And also, he doesn't have any real parents.
No real parents.
He
Yes.
doesn't know if his dad is still alive.
We don't know if his dad is still alive. He doesn't have any parents, but tell me this. If you didn't have any of your parents, would you have to be brave? Would you have to kind of stand up to
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Now, last one. Would you say that he is friendly?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait,
Raise your hand. Emily, I haven't called on you yet.
Oh, wait, never mind.
How is he friendly? You know.
Because, like, when he was going,
Teachers, please excuse the interruption. Tax testing is completed, so you may use both playgrounds. Thank you.
Yeah, you go for fast testing. All right, Emily.
that lady told Bud and the other little kid that they got adopted, and Bud, the little boy, the other little boy, he was crying, and Bud, Bud kept on, like,
What did Bud do for him?
he cheered him up.
Cheered him up. He was very friendly. He told him to look on the bright side. All he had to deal with was those two little girls. He had an older boy to deal with. So yeah, he was friendly towards that other orphan in the home with him. Thomas.
Because like when that one boy lies, he doesn't say like he's been lying. He's just faking it.
Good. He's just faking it. I like that. All right. This is your purpose for reading today. Okay. You're going to look for character traits that describe Bud. We have already discussed some of them. The character trait is going to go right here. So we were just talking about how friendly he was. And Emily, I'm going to use your example that you gave me. Okay? An example from the text was that he cheered up the other little boy from the home. So
Cheered up little boy.
cheered, this is just a bullet, cheered up friend. Okay? And Thomas, what did you say?
No, he doesn't say that the other kid lies.
He doesn't say that the other 12-year-old lies. He kind of just sucks it up for himself, right?
I forget what it
So
says.
he takes
That means he's not. That means he takes blame.
he takes the blame for this other kid that was
He's not
obviously in the
I
wrong.
sure would.
Okay?
being brave.
So when you are filling out your character trait, okay, I'm going to ask you to put the character trait here in the bubble, and then I'm going to ask you to put examples in the square that comes underneath the bubble. Now, today we're only going to do 2 of them. That is all that you are responsible for, but your purpose during our reading today, we've got 2 chapters to read, is to look for character traits that might describe Bud, okay? Bud, not Buddy.
I don't know. He's Bud, but not.
You get it now? All right, quietly and calmly, I'd like you back to your seats.
Because he always has to say that.
That's right.
Go on, John.
5. And you may open to chapter
Yes,
3, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0.
You want to use mine?
She pulled Todd to his feet and let, as I followed Mr. Amos, Chapter 2. There comes a time when you're losing a fight that it just doesn't make sense to keep on fighting. It's not that you're being a quitter, it's just that you've got the sense to know when enough is enough. She pulled Todd to his feet. As I followed Mr. Amos, I kept a sharp eye. She pulled Todd to his feet and led him to the door. She looked over at me. You are a beastly little brute. And I kept my eye on my suitcase, wondering if they'd stolen anything from it.
You heard this?
I'm thinking about getting even.
One chapter 3.
When I blinked my eyes open, Chapter 4. Chapter 3.
There we go.
The only thing I could hear was my own breath. It was so loud that it sounded like there were 6 scared people locked up in the shed. I closed my eyes and thought real hard